episode 2 of this IronHeadAche Collective video series we're going to go ahead and we're going to put the cam gears back into the motor. We're going to line them all up. We're going to put the cam cover with a new gasket on as well as a new paper washer for the generator gear. We're also going to put the generator back on and get that wired back in as well. So first we're just going to go ahead and clean up the surface of any old gasket, all that stuff before we get started. So let's bring you over here and show you what we're working with. All right, so we're just going to take some brake cleaner and we're going to get the surfaces up here cleaned up a little bit. I've kind of already started a little, you can see here, but we're going to go ahead and we're just going to get all this cleaned up here, just ready for the cam and the cover and the new gasket and all that stuff. All right, so we just take our brake cleaner and our wire brush and we're gonna have at it. All right, now that we have our surface here and everything cleaned up and prepped for the cam to go in, we're gonna take a look down here at our cam assembly and just verify we have, just to make sure we have all our spacers and everything here, how it came out. And we're just, for record's sake, we're gonna, follow the manual 1, 2, 3, 4 cam gears, and then number 5 being the generator gear. So we're going to go ahead and start the assembly and timing. All right, we're going to make sure that our advance mark is in the 12 o'clock. It's a little hard with the gimbal, but anyway, you can see it in the window and I can tell that it is pretty much dead center. So we're going to call that good. All right, so we're going to take cam gear 1 and we're going to put it in its place here with the dual washer in the back. And then we're gonna take cam gear 3. We're gonna take the little washers that were on the front there, the little spacers, so we can see our hash marks. I'm kind of getting them sort of like in the relative position already, so when we put cam gear 2 in, it should pretty closely line up. All right, so we'll get the camera down here and we'll take a closer look at our lineup marks and compare it to what's going on in the service manual. All right, you can see here. All right, we've got, we'll double check this mark, but if we have these, and then I feel like these are all fairly pretty close within like a tooth. And I know that there was some, I've read that there's been some discrepancies of the accuracy of things from model to model, but we'll hop down and we'll see what it looks like. All right, so from what I can tell, we're lined up here. We are, for the most part, we are lined up there. This one here looks pretty lined up. And then that there looks about as close as we can get it within all these teeth. So I think that this is lined up. And our oil spot here, our original problem, seems to be actually in the window for the most part. There's a little bit of jar there, but you can see. So I think that's in good shape. We'll get the cover and everything cleaned up, ready to go. I'll get the generator gear in next with the paper washer, and then we'll get the cover back on. So I took 2 back out because I think that I can get it lined up a little bit closer. This one here, number 3, felt like it was just off by a tooth. So we're gonna try to just set it back in and try to get it closer to a better visual lineup. All right, so I think we got it now. We'll take a closer look here. Let's check it out. All right, so that looks pretty frickin' close. We're lined up. We're lined up. Here, 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 and here. I don't think I can get it any closer than that, so that's gonna have to do. We'll go ahead and we'll get our guy here. Let's just go ahead and wipe that down, and we'll just go ahead and toss that in there now. Just double check. All right, we're lined up. We are lined up. Perfect. All right, so we're almost ready to put this in, but we're gonna do a couple of things. We're just gonna clean up this surface here a little bit more. We have a new oil seal that's gonna go in here, as well as we have a Dyna S ignition that we're gonna route through the cover. And let's just get the wire down, ready to go up into the coil. So we're just gonna get that ran, get the seal put in, get the paper washer over the generator gear, and then this thing will be ready to put back onto the bike. So we have our oil seal here and our 1-inch socket, and we're going to use that with our rubber mallet to gently tap that into position. we'll take our Dyna S ignition and we're gonna feed the ignition wires down through the little feed hole here. Ta-da! All right, you can see our mating surface nice and clean now. We've got our ignition wire taken care of. If we flip her over, you can see, all right, we got our ignition in place, but more importantly, we have our new oil seal here pressed in to keep our ignition nice and dry. So, all right, next we're gonna go ahead and put the paper washer on the generator gear, and we're gonna get this button back up with the new gasket. All right, paper washer on our generator gear. Boom. All right, so before we put this all back together, I just wanted to put a little bit of oil. I don't have assembly lube, unfortunately, but gear oil is gonna have to do. So we're just gonna put a little bit here, because when we start turning this over, we don't want it to be just totally dry. One good thing to do, I guess, Red, we're gonna just spray this. I like to use this copper gasket sealer just to kind of coat it, makes it a little tackier. I guess it wouldn't be an IronHeadAche video if I didn't forget one important thing, and that is the oil line to the case cover. So I have to take all the bolts back out, hook up the oil line, and put it back together. So way to go, me. All right, now that we've fixed our fuck up, and you might be able to see it, but anyway, you gotta hook up that oil line to the little pipe fitting there in the case, pump the oil out, keep everything lubed up. So now that that is right, we will, for the second time, go ahead and put this case cover back on. Alright, so now we got it all back together. I think I'm going to save the generator and all that stuff for another video, just because I'm feeling pretty pretty burnt out right now. But we got the cover. We got all the stuff sealed up. We got the breather nozzle hooked back on, which I think I need to check out. It's a little loose. It doesn't seem, the threads don't seem to set very well. Might need a different size, I'm not sure. So other than that though, she's cased up, and yeah, so the next video will be cork seals for the push rods, lifters, install. We got new oil lines, all kinds of stuff. So thanks for watching, and keep an eye out for the next video. Thanks. And you know, to do all that YouTube stuff, like, subscribe, whatever, just share it with as many people as you can. That'd be great. Thanks, guys.